Screw your friends and all your things and all the things that you hold dear. Just screw it all. You don't need it. Detachment. Detachment. How detachment is necessary for your life and growth. Welcome to Faithful Man. This is Chris Huffman, your host. Every day becoming a better man, and in the process helping you do the same. Learning this lesson of detachment. One of the hardest lessons this old boy has had to learn. And I'm fighting back tears even right now thinking about this subject and how I've had to learn detachment. And there's a huge level of detachment I've got to go through today. There's a very specific aspect of my life that I just have to let go of today. How about you? Do you get emotionally attached to people and things? Listen, we need relationships. We need friendships. It's okay to have things. But we don't want those things to have us. And I'm not talking about, big things. I'm just talking about reasonable things that you just might be attached to. And that's where a lot of hoarders come from. They just can't let anything go. And I'm not a hoarder, but I carry that gene. You know what I'm saying? But I'll give you two examples. Two examples of detachment that I've had to learn. And sitting here today, February 21st, 2025. Remember Y2K? The world was going to come to an end 25 years ago. I have friends. And most times now when I say friends, just imagine air quotes. Now there really are people out there that love me, care about me. But if you don't reach out to me, if you don't call me, if you don't write, text, email, any kind of formation on your own, you're not showing up as a friend. And so I've had to go through this particular battle because I've had friends after my wife left. The hardest thing I've ever had to go through was learning to deal with that, grow as a man, work on myself, quit blaming my wife, admit it was my fault, all that stuff that goes with growing as a man, which is what I try to teach men that come into our programs. And hey, if any of that interests you, we got free call, free consultation, free supplies to at least get you started. And if you want to go further, we can see which program is best for you. But just send us your email, your phone number, 970-697-0232 or faithfulman513@gmail. We'll at least get started on some initial steps for you. But part of me growing up is I've had to grow as a man in these areas. And detachment is a major lesson you have to learn. And so, as I tried to keep friendships going and keep things alive and reach out, I had a couple friends that they were there every time I called on them. Every time I called on them. They were there for me. Praise the Lord. They were an encouragement. They were a blessing. Thankful for it. But out of those two or three, probably around that time I had 5, somewhat consistent close friends. And then 10 or 20, probably close to 30 other friends, not associates, friends, in my church and whatnot, that they never reached out to me, not one time on their own. Never asked how I was doing, never asked how they could help. And these two that I kept calling on all the time, they never reached out to me on their own. And then when I had to leave the state, they never one time tried to ever contact me or help me out. They were there when I called them. But I started realizing, Lord, they're not reaching out to me. Maybe I'm trying to keep things alive that shouldn't be kept alive. Maybe you want me to learn just to walk with you and be alone with you. And the more I went along, the more I heard him say, yeah, that's right. Just learn to be alone. Just learn to be alone. Just learn for it to be me and you. Me and you. And then, when I knew my wife was going to, she'd officially set divorce in action. That night I found out about that. I asked to meet with her. She agreed, and my intention was to somehow convince her. I wasn't begging. I wasn't groveling. I had grown up a little bit at that point in time. But to convince her, hey, can we turn this thing around? And I had reached out to 20 or 30 people at that point in time, specifically about the divorce about to happen, to people that I hadn't really been talking too much about, but knew. And that night, between text messaging, voicemail, email, or Facebook or whatever, I let about 30 people know, hey, please pray. I'm about to meet with my wife tonight. I try to convince her to not go through with the divorce. Oh, we'll pray. And out of all those people, maybe only a third of them came back with any kind of response, which was good. But guess how many people checked on me the next day? Not 3, 0. And I'm going to say it now for emphasis, because I'm not angry or bitter about it. But the whole situation angers me, and it happens all over the world. It happens all over Christianity. Not one flippin' stinking person called me, texted me, voicemailed me, anything. Not a one. To check how that meeting went. If you really cared about me, if you really prayed about me, you would have checked on me. 0 that day and 0 since. Ain't one flippin' stinking person. I got 2 in my life that have been consistent. Nobody else. I've had to learn detachment and to forgive and to move on. This morning, that was my attachment to people. This morning, detachment from things. I've got things in stores today that I'm going to lose. Today, everything's going to auction. The Lord's got me in a tight spot. I ain't making any money. I was making payment arrangement with the storage stuff, keeping it up. The lady there was very excellent with me. We were on great terms, but new ownership came in and said, no more. This guy's got to pay up or get out. So it's all going to auction today. So I've got stuff in there from my dad I would love to keep. I've got books that I've been having books around my life for years. I got books in there I want to keep. I like to collect Star Trek memorabilia, so I got a lot of Star Trek stuff in there I want to keep. I got legal documents in there I want to keep. I got some Zippo lighters that I bought in there that I want to keep. And then I got at least a couple $1,000s worth of tools. I got a Ryder lawnmower in there. But guess what? They're just things. They're just things. So I've told the Lord I'd like to keep them. I'd like for you to make a way for me to keep them. But I'm also aware you might be teaching me detachment. That you need to let go of things. And I have complete freedom in my heart. If I get to keep them, great. If not, I'm okay with that. So where are you? What do you need to detach from? What are you holding on to that you shouldn't hold on to? That stuff's keeping you down. It's keeping you small. You've got to learn to let go of people and let go of things. If we can help you in any of our programs, again, you can call or text 970-697-0232. On some of my videos, I'm still learning a lot of this stuff. There's links to some of our things. I've not learned to get that all active all the time. You can email me at faithfulman513@gmail.com. And until we meet again, keep your eyes on Him.